Good day, everyone. I am here with Candy. I am Justine. Thank you for joining us for another lovely episode of Cabin Crafts. Today we're making something that we're actually wearing right now, both of us. We are going to make today a skirt, a period correct, 18th and early 19th century appropriate working class women's skirt. It's going to be a drawstring skirt, which is the easiest way for you to make it. It's the easiest way for you to have pleats in the skirt.
This is a cheater skirt.
Yes, we're trying to make this as easy as possible for you, and very cheap.
Yes.
So everything that Candy is wearing today, she made it.
She
made it, and she made it on the sewing machine that we're about to show you guys. And we're going to use a sewing machine because hand sewing is a nightmare, if you've ever done it. If you want to hand sew it, hand sew it. But in this video, you'll learn the pattern, you'll learn how to cut it out, and how to assemble it. So if you want to use a sewing machine, go for it. If you want to hand sew it, go for it.
It's going to be very simple and very reasonable. So the material that I bought for the skirt cost me $10.32.
Imagine that.
And so that's 3 yards. And then I got, you can get a spool of thread for a couple dollars, and I bought a spool of ribbon that we're going to use for the drawstring, and that was just a couple dollars. So for around $15, $16, we're going to make a colonial skirt that, unless somebody comes up and is like, "Did you hand sew that hem?" You know, nobody's going to,
Who does that?
It's very simple, very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. But since this is 3 yards of material, which is one of the requirements, you'll need 3 yards of material, it's hard to show on video when I unfold all of this. So this is how you get your material from the fabric store. But I'm going to show you with a real simple paper pattern how we're going to do this. So anyway, here's the paper pattern. Really complicated, right? Okay, so here's our fabric. So when we get our fabric from the store, this is 3 yards again. It's going to come like this off the bolt, long and skinny, okay? This is your selvage edge, the raw open edge. This is your folded edge, okay? So what we're going to do to make this a skirt is we are going to unfold all of this material, and I'll show you with paper in a minute. Open it all out, turn it sideways so it's the very long way, okay, and fold it in half long ways. So it's going to be the opposite of the way you received it at the fabric store. And this is going to be our skirt, if I can get a hold of it. Easier said than done, it's a lot of material. So this is going to be our skirt, okay? The folded edge, I'm actually going to flip this around to where it matches my skirt. The folded edge will be this side, so nothing to sew. And the open edge, we are going to sew about halfway up, and it will make, if I can find my slit, this slit. So I'm going to show you on the paper now, so you won't have to look at so much material. This, say, is our 3 yards of material, and this is how it came from the store. You've got your folded edge and you've got your selvage edge. So this is 3 yards in length, okay? We're going to open it out and we're going to fold it in half the other way. Fold it in half, turn it sideways. This is open, this is open, this is open, this is your folded edge. We are going to sew up halfway on this side, okay? Then we will turn in seams and make finished edges, and this part will be where the drawstring goes, and this will be your hem. So it's very simple. It's just a 3-sided demonstration. This is my material for the skirt. This is 3 yards, and so I need to pick out a coordinating thread.
It's just a solid red color.
This would make a cute apron over that.
If you want, you could use fabric that has patterns too. whatever you want. But even back then, solid color fabric was cheaper, and it still is today.
Right.
So if you really want this to be cheap, solid colors.
Yes, solid colors are cheaper. And we're just doing a basic straight stitch.
And if you're wanting to figure out how to use a sewing machine, there are lots of videos on YouTube about the subject. And so just watch that.
Yep. So we've got our bobbin in the bottom. We've got our thread in the top. We're ready to sew. Of course, you want to try to get the same color thread as your material, so you don't have Miss Fuss Budget at the regiment coming up to you and going, I can't see you. Anyway.
Oh yeah, these stitches, these aren't hand sewn.
Right.
You're not allowed in our cool club.
That's right. We have our own club.
We have our own club,
So,
and you're a part of it.
Another important thing is you want to pre-wash your fabric, because a lot of times if it's 100% cotton, it will shrink. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do a couple of back stitches. And we're just going to stay on my 5/8 inch line. And I would say to make this whole thing, it maybe be an hour. Get my pieces straight again. And the machine will just feed it through. I'm stopping at that wrinkle because that's halfway down the fabric where it was folded. I'm going to do a couple of back stitches.
Just so it doesn't
undo itself. Lift it up, and we're done with that part. Cut our thread. So this is obviously the wrong side. Okay? So if I would open it out, there's your pretty seam.
Wow.
And then we're going to take these two sides. I might clip this a little bit. Just make a little clip above where you just sewed to release that. And now we're going to sew this seam all the way up, and then we'll turn this one and sew all the way up, and we'll have a nice finished seam where we're going to reach into our pocket.
Okay.
All right. There's that. We'll just use that.
See, now that would have probably taken me 30 minutes to hand sew, and that took Handy 30 seconds.
So, here is our very pretty, finished
Oh, the pocket slit.
pocket slit. Yeah. Get it. Because we're still working with a lot of fabric here. And there's on the out, so we're looking at the outside, and there's that reinforcement. So this is the top of our waist.
Okay, so this is the top of your waist, and this is where your ankles
Your
are.
Your hem will be for the bottom. And so we're going to start turning this under, and we're going to leave a wide waistband because we're going to run our ribbon through here for our drawstring, and this will go all the way around and come out both ends.
Okay, so the top part where your waist goes, just fold
and then
it over.
so then we'll have a piece of ribbon coming out here and a piece of ribbon coming out here, and this is where you'll tie it. You've got this nice big pocket slit, and you know, if people are like, well, you can see all the way to Peoria in there, don't have to worry about it, because once you get all this gathered, this stays closed, and your pocket will be under there.
Yes.
So we're going to work on this next. Turn that down probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and then we're going to turn it down again and make a pretty wide seam.
Get a pen and pin it.
Get a pin and pin it, because you do want this to be pretty straight. And just go every so often. And this is usually when I use my iron, because I just iron this down.
But if you can't afford an iron or you just don't want to deal with it, we're doing it our way today.
If you're doing the shortcut method like what I'm doing, turn that under. Okay. So now we've done that all the way around the top. Let me see if I can show you without sticking myself. So we've done it.
There's so much just loose
There's so much fabric, yeah. So we've done it all the way around. Of course you can't see my pins, but there they are. We've done it all the way around. So now we're going to sew that. Almost yellow floor, that's not good.
That would have been bad.
It's worse than stepping on Legos.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me once when I was a kid. I stepped on a sewing needle. I didn't want to tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I was maybe 8 years old. So I just sat in my room, took a deep breath, yanked it out, right in the...
And carried on.
Carried on. It was in the heel of my foot.
You're no wimp.
No, I'm a colonel's daughter.
All right.
Raised in a military family.
Pull that needle out and carry on.
Yeah, we don't do bandages.
That's right. You don't need no stinking bandages.
No.
This ribbon, again, at the Really Big Bad store. And it was $1.97. And it has 18 feet. So we're gonna have ribbon left over, especially once you gather it, because nobody's 18 feet around. I hope not.
What would you say the total cost is to make this skirt?
Let's see. So $2 for the ribbon, $2 for thread, and $10.32 for the fabric. None of that includes tax. So all of it for under $20, about $18. You can't buy a skirt online for $18.
No, usually they're $100 or more.
Right. And of course, you know, you can also get more expensive fabric. Some people like to wear linen, you know, because in the summer linen breathes, and they wore a lot of linen in early America, but linen's very expensive now. It wasn't as expensive then because people knew how to weave and things. So this is the ribbon we're going to use. And I'm going to turn my end under several times to give it some bulk and to keep it from fraying. So I turned it under about 3 times.
Made a little ball with it.
Made a little ball with it, and I'm just going to stick my pin in there, my big safety pin, so you can see what we have. And we're going to just start on one end.
Okay,
so here's our tube.
Yeah, that they just made, that Candy just made.
We just made. And so as you go, it goes pretty fast. Look at that.
Okay, so you're holding on to the safety pin.
I'm feeding the safety pin through. I'm not even worrying about the ribbon. I'm just feeding the safety pin through.
It's like a cool trick.
Yeah. I'm going to turn it this way because there we go.
I always wondered how you would feed something through a drawstring.
So see how gathered that is? How much you can get on just that medium side, and then you pull it through.
Wow, she's already made a good amount of progress.
Yeah, it goes really fast.
What is it, 30 seconds?
Yep. So when we put it in the washing machine, just make a nice big bow, tie it tight, and in the agitation, it won't
unstring your ribbon.
It won't feed out.
Yes.
So do that with any of your things that have you can do that with your hoodie, any of your modern clothing that has this. Tie it so you don't lose it in there.
You know, I just thought about something. For drawstrings, you could also make a purse.
Yep.
Now, a lot of period purses, there were just one piece of fabric folded in like a ball, and then the top had a drawstring.
That was called a reticule.
Yes, a reticule.
Yeah.
So you could make a old purse, a reticule, using the same strategy.
And also, so here's our finished product minus the hem. So you see all those pretty gathers, and of course on Justine it's going to get even shorter. I mean, it's going to get pulled in even more. This would probably fit me. But you could use this in modern clothing.
Yes.
You could make yourself a cute modern skirt.
You could make a short skirt.
You could make it short. So whatever, you know, cut it down to your knee length. Look how much hem that's going to be. So what we can do is we will sew probably right around here, and then we'll cut the rest of that off on the inside.
Guys, I'm about to try this for the first time. Candy told me that the way you operate it is just press your foot on the gas pedal.
It's a gas pedal.
Like it's a car.
But don't get a ticket.
So under the table there's a pedal, and I just have to press on my foot with it.
Yep.
And the harder
your material taut.
So the harder I press on it, the faster it goes.
Right.
Ah, it's out of control.
No,
oh
you're
my
doing
gosh.
great.
It's working.
And stay on that 5/8 inch line.
It's working.
Look at this.
Wow.
Justine can sew.
I have never sewn this fast in my life.
Have you ever used a sewing machine?
No, I have never used a sewing machine before.
Really?
I feel like a bionic robotic woman.
Okay, let's stop and give you some slack.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Press the gas.
I'm so nervous about doing it too fast.
No, you won't.
This is amazing. Ah!
Just stay on your 5/8 inch line.
Wow. I could never hand sew like this.
No.
I feel like a lady from the 1820s who was actually experiencing... Oh!
Whoa!
I feel like a lady from the 1820s that's experiencing technology for the first time.
Well, can you imagine the very first time
Yes.
that someone got to sew with a sewing machine?
It was revolutionary.
It was revolutionary, absolutely.
Behold, the prettiest gal in the village, brought to you by Candy.
Yep, so we have a finished skirt.
Yep.
Finished drawstring
Very
skirt.
comfortable. I have 2 skirts on right now. Helps keep you warm and help the shape.
So this one is your linen green one underneath.
Yep, and some women, they would have kind of half pinned it up
Right.
a little when they're walking in mud, and
Yep.
people could have seen the color that was underneath.
Yep. And you can
Thank
actually
you.
do that, watch this. So I'm going to take your strings from your waist.
Oh, I think I know
And-
what to do.
We can go like this.
Clever. Wow, look at that,
Aren't you all
guys.
cute and peasanty looking?
Yes, that's exactly my aesthetic, actually.
Mhm.
Peasant.
Like
Thank
Like
you.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. This is a really nice skirt, and I'm amazed at how quickly you did it, and I
Mhm.
got to use a sewing machine for the very
Got
first
to
time
use
in
a
my
sewing
life.
machine? Yep.
I'm gonna keep this forever. Thank you, Candy.
You're very welcome.